Everybody, my name is Joel Bennett. I'm president and founder of Organizational Wellness and Learning Systems. And this is a poster I just recently did at the Art and Science of Health Promotion Conference in Orlando. And I'm going to give you a quick overview of what we're talking about here. And hopefully, if you have any questions, please follow up with me. My email will be available after this. The title of this poster is Targeting Elements of a Healthy Work Culture, a Synthesis of Clinical Trials. And as you can see, we have a number of authors here. We've been working on this for a number of years. There's a problem that we think is a real important one. And basically what we're talking about here is this idea that a healthy work culture is critical to the success of a wellness program, and it's possible to make a business a healthy work culture. However, most of these definitions of a healthy work culture are broad-based. They're often in large companies, and they're not developed necessarily in a systematic way. Most importantly, they're not theory-based, they're not grounded in science, they lack very clear operational definitions, and they're not designed in such a way to be scalable. And in our work as scientists, what we seek to do is test them so that they can be modular, they have fidelity, which means they can be repeated, and they, as again, can be scaled to any size of the business. So that's been the problem that we've been working on for probably close to 15, if not 20 years. So what you have here is our abstract, some concepts, results, and conclusion. I'm just going to kind of go over our empirically grounded model because it informs everything else here. In this model, you see four basic elements. There's the climate of the work environment, what we actually call the health and productivity climate, and it has 7 dimensions, which we'll talk about. There's the wellness champion, and we make a distinction between a wellness coordinator or an administrator of a wellness program and the person who's really a champion for it. There's the team or peer-to-peer relationships, and then there's leadership, or what we call healthy leadership. So you can see these are color-coded. The team awareness programs, orange. Healthy leadership is this blue. The wellness champion is green. And the health and productivity climate is actually multiple colors. So what we have done is built this model over a series of years by doing clinical trials. That is, testing for cause and effect in a randomized clinical trial environment, where the work site is often the unit of analysis, or the work department or work group. Based on the work we've done, we've identified what we call core principles of integral organizational wellness. Integral in the sense that a healthy work culture, to a certain degree, requires that all of these things kind of fit and work together if it's going to be a healthy work culture. Those 8 principles are, number 1, the local work climate influences thriving. Number 2, peer support, and you can see these are in orange, these next 4. Peer support is a very strong predictor of employee health and engagement. I can go over studies that have documented that beyond a shadow of a doubt. If you feel that your coworkers support you and you support them, it is one of the best predictors of health, engagement, and productivity. Number 3 is that peers often know about coworkers' problems. In fact, we say in our team training, you never know when a coworker's problems are such that you may be the only one who knows about it and can help. Number 4, peers influence each other by role modeling healthy behaviors, social norms, and importantly, compassion. Number 5, and this is a paper that we wrote with Dr. Lois Tetrick, this We in Wellness. The group is the nexus for total worker health, and also for resilience. So then you go to the managers, and here we specifically talk about heart-centered leadership, or sometimes servant leadership or transformational leadership, is key to catalyzing all of this, to making all of this work. And of course, the champions support all of these, but in our work with champions, it's very competency-oriented, and we've done a number of programs with champions, which I'll talk about briefly. And finally, climate assessment, that it's important to assess the climate using psychometrically valid tools. So that's the Healthy Work Site. Those are our core principles. I won't go into all the research here. Here we have 14 studies that we've done. Here was a clinical trial with other research on supervisors. We've done three actually major studies here, and we've used the climate assessment tool in 7 different industries. Without going into all of the details of these findings, I just want to let you know that this works. That if you pick only one of these, you will start a process of improving things. That you can get social contagion where you don't even have to train everybody in a work site, because if you train the peers right and you have some other supportive elements, you have a contagion effect, a diffusion effect. Even newcomers coming into the organization can benefit. We also have a leader ripple effect. We've seen when a manager in a senior position loses weight, other people start losing weight around that manager. And we have climate inoculation, which basically means that if you train people in a positive, healthy environment and then return them to a toxic environment, you can still see that they've been inoculated if you do that right. They will not revert to their old behaviors. So those are examples, what we call operational examples of a culture of health. In terms of again, I'm not going to go into details, but I do want you to know we've been able to improve the climate. It includes reducing stigma for seeking help, improved utilization of help seeking and including the employee assistance program, improved coping and resilience. In fact, my book, Raw Coping Power, takes the stress module out of this training and capitalizes on its unique resources and tools. And we also reduce substance use. In fact, we recently received funding to develop an adult prescription misuse program, which we have now been rolling out as part of this. I've already described the ripple effect. And the Wellbeing Champion trainings, what we find here is that they have improved self-efficacy, they're more knowledgeable about evidence-based programs, they feel more confident about being able to assess, design, deliver, and evaluate wellness programs, including return on investment. We have a return on investment tool. And in climate assessment, I'll just briefly round up this all by saying that what the 7 dimensions are. So there's well-being, which is how much employees feel that their company places a priority on health and well-being. Work-life balance, for example, supervisors support employees when they have to deal with family issues. Presence and engagement, which I think speaks for itself. Team communication. Policy and accountability, which involves not sweeping things under the rug, including safety issues, if you see them. Coping with stress or resilience, and then help and support. And so what we often do is we look at how these all interrelate with each other. The biggest problem is that many people in the field of health and productivity and wellness tend to focus just on this dimension. And what we've seen in our case studies, in our work psychometrically, is that these other factors can drive well-being. So if you don't focus on stress, help and support, and team communication, and you just deliver a well-being program, a wellness program, you may only get so far in your work. So to conclude all of this, thanks for taking the time to listen. It is time to operationally define elements and processes of healthy work cultures. It's time to develop interventions like this that are grounded in science, especially randomized clinical trials. It's time to assess their impact and to manualize and disseminate. And to round this up, that's what we do at Organizational Wellness and Learning Systems. We consult, we have a strong philosophy of relationship building, capacity building, and consultation. Because at the end of the day, even if you have these programs, unless there's a real important long-term strategy, you cannot achieve this. So that's what we want to do here for you. I hope you've enjoyed this and that you've learned something. and that you know that your tax dollars from the National Institutes of Health and the Department of Health and Human Services that often funds our research, that your tax dollars is going to a good cause. Thank you, everybody.